Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to the sixth and final installment of Volume 2 of my class-based rankings. Thank you to everybody who has followed the first 5 in the series. Just a bit behind the curtain, if you will. I'm recording this from home. I just flew back from New York City, had the best weekend I have had in a long time. Definitely top 5 best weekend of my life of any year. But sadly, my bag is still somewhere in Dallas, Texas. There was crazy lightning and storms, but my bag will hopefully be returned to me at some point, and I'm thankful to be back in the studio, ready to add the board game that I won and a couple other things and just make the background even better. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the Cosmic class today, the only class that we have not reviewed. And as a reminder, these rankings are simple for a purpose. They're for giving people who pulled champs right out of the gate a quick idea of, are they good or do they suck? Can you put them on defense? Also, as a quick reminder, we are going to make Volume 3 much more heavy in terms of attack. I think at minimum, we're going to make 70% of the score offense, but maybe even as high as 80%. Just because most people don't care about defense when they start out, so it's not really as relevant. Everything else, like Alliance War, Alliance Quest, and questing in general, is much more important. Now, the Cosmic class used to be one of the worst, but I actually think when you consider that Venom and Carnage just got buffed big time, the Cosmic class is now one of the best. And let's break down why. Now, Medusa, I still think, is the best overall champ by a hair, in this case by 1 point over my boy Hyperion. Now, this is going to get skewed some when we talk about the next rating, because Corvus's perfect offense is going to certainly give him a much higher rating than 90 overall. In fact, you can just think about if you get 40 on defense and you have 20 on defense now, that Corvus's rating goes from a 90 to, with the new system, it'll probably be like a 96 or a 97. So who knows? Maybe Corvus will be at the top. But I do think that Medusa and Hyperion are much better defenders than Corvus. That I don't think can be argued. Now, offensively, Medusa needs synergies to be at her peak, and that is why she has still a very, very good offensive score, but not where Hyperion and Corvus are. Some people might argue that, and if you are one of those people, let me know. But defensively, Medusa is still the boss that I've faced in every single Alliance War this season. Yeah, it's just crazy. You know that the auto block is still going to cause issues. And yes, there are counters to Medusa, but she still sucks to fight. And anybody who is excited to fight Medusa apparently has Corvus, right? Now, Hyperion, my second 565 champ, I was nervous about taking him up. The Idolist and his infinite wisdom helped inspire me to do this, and man, was he right. Hyperion is so much fun to play with. I have been using him on certain paths that involve regeneration, like the Buffet or Buffet, depending on how you pronounce that. Masochism, it still does really well. And I think when you use the heavy, you stack the Furies, you get very lucky with the RNG of a special 2, and you get that stun lock. Just a blast, and still somebody you don't want to ever get excited to fight on defense. Now, Corvus, there's no champ in 20 hits, right, that puts out the damage that Corvus does. The guaranteed crits, you add to the missions, they're just going to be damage that no one can compare. This is almost like how OG Thor was, for those of you who remember that 4-star Thor before patch 12.0 when he was putting up just laughable damage. Corvus, not exactly on pace with that to start, but man, you stack the missions, you get a 565 with full suicides, and it's about what Thor used to be. Now, Venom used to be at near the bottom of this list. Now you can see number 4. I also just hate fighting Venom on defense. Maybe I'm the only person who feels that way, but even before the buff, his AI is so aggressive that I've been clipped multiple times fighting Venom. A very, very good champ at an 85 overall, and finally worthy of the champion in the comics. Now, Proxima Midnight has taken a hit in recent months. I think when the content creators got a hold of her and it looked as though she could do the most damage in the game overall, everybody was thinking that she was the better of the 2 champs of that month. Keep in mind that when Proxima came out, she was the hyped up champ, not Corvus, and the Corvus arena went insanely low, and that's my one regret of the game, that I wasn't able to grind out Corvus, even though I eventually pulled him on July 4th. But anyhow, defensively, I put my 6-star Proxima Midnight on a unblockable special 2 node, and that does get me a couple of kills, but for the top alliances, they can still dodge that pretty easily with dexterity, with the timing. So she's just very, very solid, but not something that I think would be anywhere close to a defender like Medusa or an attacker like Corvus. Now, Angela is a champ that I think some people might argue deserves higher than a 42, even though 42 is still very good in this rating system. A champ that was the best 6-star in the game until the new featured 6 stars came out. Defensively, not great, but a very heavy hitter. Symbiote Spidey, so underrated to build armor breaks. Some people are going to look at this and be like, I can't believe you have Angela and Symbiote Spidey in the same rating. And maybe Angela deserves to be a little bit higher, but man, when you can stack 6 or 7 or 8 of Symbiote Spidey's armor breaks with that heavy attack, and then do that guaranteed crit on the special 2, one of my favorite parts of the game. Heimdall, True Strike, amazing. Offensively, I've seen some great stuff. But defensively, very, very under average, really. Carnage, now, same offensive rating as Venom, so much fun to play, but defensively, still total trash. Hela used to be close to a 50 on offense before she was nerfed when she came out, but defensively, a little bit better than average, but still not great, and offensively, very solid. OG Thor used to be a 60 out of 50 on offense. He's still okay, but 42 out of 50 I think is fair. Might be higher if he was available at higher than a 4-star, 67 overall. Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, when awakened, are two of my favorite champs. Miss Marvel was my MVP back when I ran Suicides, and also just in general in Alliance Quest. Now, they're underrated. I really do believe that. Poison immunity is also helpful. Very, very average defenders, but great attackers. Now, Thanos, I don't have. Right? Not many people do. But for those of you who have told me that you played around with the character, you think he's just slightly above average offensive person, and defensively actually has more value than offensive. So put it there. King Groot. Still hate fighting this guy in Alliance War. You put him on an enhanced regeneration node, and he sucks to fight. And maybe I'm the only person who feels that way, but I hate fighting King Groot. So I'm going to give him 35 out of 50 in defense, and as an attacker, yeah, it's pretty much trash. Now, Black Bolt, or who I used to affectionately refer to as Black Balls when he recoiled himself with the special 2, has improved, and this is one of those champs that when you put him with Medusa, gets better, but this is not synergy-dependent list. So 35 out of 50 on offense, and then defensively, he can get some kills. I've seen a 6-star Black Bolt wreck some people, and I would say about once or twice in my life I've been wrecked by a 6-star Black Bolt as well. I think Black Bolt's best value for Alliance War comes when you have those specials that automatically start, like if you start with a special 1, because you can automatically get that stun, sort of like Venom, or excuse me, not Venom, Vision. When you start with the special 1, you instantly get that beam to come down. But yeah, if you're not waiting for it, I do think that Kabam has made strides to make that special 2 a lot faster. I noticed the animations are just quicker. It used to be like the Cyclone Crush of like Bison from Street Fighter, but it's gotten much better than that. Ronin, fantastic champ when you have certain matchups. He was the MVP a couple of months ago for everybody who remembers just infinitely spamming that special 1 on the uncollected paths. But defensively, very, very average. Drax used to be at least a 43 out of 50. Yes, you can still do really great bleed damage, and maybe he deserves to be higher, but man, I miss the days of him being the Mordo counter. Just terrible, terrible decision from Kabam to not give him that ability anymore. Venompool, underrated. Love his special 1, love converting those buffs, but, just not the best attacker, and certainly a terrible defender. Superior Iron Man, when you have him awakened, that regeneration is going to save you plenty of potions and even revives with the Arc Overload, but defensively, terrible champ. Phoenix, amazing for prestige, but very average on offense. I just wish she should hit 2 to 3 times as hard as she hits. Defensively, terrible. Gamora, maybe should be ranked a little higher, certainly with the special 2 when you get the bleed damage down. I can see some people fighting for her, but defensively, just not very good at all. Now, Groot, I think this is a generous 10 out of 100. Offensively, absolutely maybe the worst hitter in the game, just does nothing. Hits like a piece of, expired paper. And I don't even know what expired paper looks like. And then defensively, yes, you do have some value, but still just not someone you ever really want to put on defense. And then, look, full disclosure, my last rating is completely biased. Prof, why do you call Kamala Khan Satan herself? Because every time I prayed to the heavens that I would get a Stark Spidey, I got Satan herself, Kamala Khan. So that is why I look at Kamala Khan with such disgust. I keep pulling her instead of the champ that I want. Now, I've seen that video in the beta test for Venom and Carnage where someone ranked up a 565 Kamala Khan and killed Realm of Legends Winter Soldier very fast. So I get her potential. But for me, this is my rating system. I'm going to give her a -5 just because of the memes, because of Kabam using her to give me borderline depression, and the fact that generally easiest specials to dodge maybe in the game. So that is the Cosmic class. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think should be improved or changed for Volume 3 of these tier ratings? Keep in mind, I'm not going to do this every week. I may not even do this every month. But every couple of months, I'll say 3 to 4 times a year, I will update it. Now, I do think the next volume will come out a little bit quicker than it will be normally, just because I want to take everybody's input into changing the percentage of offense from 50 to 70 or 80. So maybe in your comment, also tell me what percentage you think offense should be. But in the meantime, I just wanted you to get a chance to see all 6 classes. Again, I appreciate your input in all of these videos. I want this to reflect what the community feels. You're not going to hurt my feelings to call me out and say I need to change a score. Just please be constructive, because that helps me the most and also lets me know you're a respectful, kind human being. Have a great day, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to continuing to develop these ranking tier systems with your help.